Leaders shook hands.
The U.S. will maintain a role in the upcoming negotiations. The president is sending a State Department official to the Middle East to act as facilitator. The talks are set to begin on Sunday morning. At the White House, Campbell Brown, NBC News, Washington.
And a Paducah man who witnessed firsthand some of the recent bloodshed in Israel has arrived home safely. Evangelist Terry McIntosh got home yesterday. McIntosh says out of his 14 visits to the Middle East, this trip was the toughest but most gratifying.
I mean, we have an opening here with people.
With suitcase barely unpacked, Evangelist Terry McIntosh talks about his 2-week visit to Israel.
They encourage us to come.
A trip that unfortunately found him in the West Bank as fighting erupted.
A couple of times I admit that there were moments of hesitation.
Terry's purpose in Israel was to open the Jesus House of Prayer in Jericho, a Christian worship center. But he was in Bethlehem, and because of the violence, no one was permitted to travel town to town.
For much consideration and prayer, we decided that the purpose that we had come for was worth taking the risk. So I did manage to make my way from Bethlehem down to Jericho.
But as he approached Jericho, he was turned away at 2 checkpoints. The Israeli soldiers would not let him in, but he tried just one more time.
I was approaching the checkpoint and the officer in charge was walking towards me. I said, in the name of Jesus, let me in. And then within 60 seconds, he had let me inside Jericho.
But that same day, violence hit the streets of Jericho. Terry saw 3 people die that day.
It was a very tragic day. A lot of bloodshed, and what I consider to be unnecessary deaths.
But despite that violence, Terry was able to accomplish his goal. The Jericho Jesus House of Prayer is now open.
The peace talks.